Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, ANITA FINLEY.
Let's have some fun. And, of course, it's the new year, and we can. And so we want to talk to Roberta Hladek, who is the co-founder of Energetic Matrix Church of Consciousness, and she's calling in from Las Vegas, Nevada. And don't let that name scare you. It's not really a church in a way. It's what it is. It's an assembly of energy. That's the way I like to say it. It's a matter of talking to someone who lives in a world where she and her associates can help people if you understand what this is all about, and you can by getting on the website. But you will be able to increase your energy. You'll be able to make your health better, your life better. And there aren't many people who can do this. And this is kind of a secret. And that's why we do this with Roberta, to make sure that people know our lucky readers and listeners can join in. So I'm certainly glad that you're okay. And are you looking forward to a fantastic 2018?
I am. I'm glad we've got 2017 behind us, and now we can move forward with a great year and a lot of cool energy, and I think we're going to have a nice year.
Did you say cool energy?
Yes.
Are you being facetious?
We're freezing.
Listen, they expect snow in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, my goodness, you're kidding.
No, it is cold. In fact, when I got out of my apartment today, it was like in the 60s, and it's dropping into the 50s now, and fast. So, and someone pointed out that if you look out the window, you can see the clouds moving very quickly, coming from the north, going to the ocean. You can just see it coming in. I mean, fast. I'd like to jump on one of those clouds. I rarely see clouds moving this fast. It's amazing. Anyway, wow. Most people don't look up. I always look up.
I do too.
So, kiddo, what do you think would make people be healthier besides eating the right food, or what do you think people ought to get from our conversation today?
Well, to be healthier, there's many ways of being healthy. It's both in your mind, your body, and your spirit, and that's what AIM does. AIM helps us on all those different levels to be healthier, happier, lead a smoother life so we don't have all those ups and downs, kind of what we call drama, where we have some highs and lows. It keeps us more stable. Now, that doesn't mean that we're never going to have bad days, but it just means that it kind of smooths out those hills and valleys, so we have more of a gentle movement through life. And I think it really, really helps us a lot. And I know a lot of people around the first of the year, they make these resolutions, and I don't like the word resolution. To me, it sounds sort of negative, so I always say I'm going to make goals. And so I always make goals, on the 1st or whenever. It doesn't have to be at the stroke of midnight on the 31st, but it's just when I think about it, I think, okay, what is it that I want to attain during this year? What goals do I want to meet? Do I want to be more consistent with my workouts? Whatever it happens to be. So we all have different things, and I think that's where AIM comes in, because it helps us to attain those goals, and it really, really does a lot for us. I can't even think of how many great things it's done. I was talking to a young girl. I was out in Indian Wells, which is by Palm Springs, for our winter break. And I was talking to this young girl, and she was talking about what goals she wanted to attain. And one of them was she wanted to be able to speak to people when she's out in a social situation. So I was telling her about AIM, so she said, I'm going to, take a look at it, because if it would give me more confidence or make me feel more confident, that would be great. And she was a beautiful girl. She shouldn't have any trouble talking to anybody. But that was one of her goals. So, and that's where AIM comes in. We talk about it clears out all these imbalances that have been passed down, but it also gives us confidence. When we clear out that stuff, we're more confident and more sure of ourselves, and that comes off. Even if we don't open our mouths, the way we walk, the way we carry ourselves, the way we look.
Well, that's really very true. And as you're talking, I was wondering, do you have tapes? I don't know if I've ever gotten any. Do you have tapes that you or Stephen or any of your staff have made to keep this going?
We have lots of CDs on different subjects that we provide. We have them on the autism program, and we have them on a few other things. We have a meditation CD, I believe.
You do? Well, I don't know about them. Why is that?
Well, I don't know.
It's a
I'm
CD.
going to have to find out.
Right.
Check our website and see who's not putting them up.
Right. So, do people buy them? Is that what you do? You sell them?
We do sell them, but we have a package of them with a few different ones in them. But we also, a lot of times, when you first come on AIM, we have an introduction CD that we send to everybody, which is frequently asked questions and kind of explains a little bit about AIM on it. And it's a really informative CD, and it talks about why we're a church. It talks about imbalances, what to expect when you're on AIM, what is life force, all of the terms that we use to. So if you're not listening to one of these interviews that we do, then you can listen to the CD, and it goes in every person that comes on AIM or an introduction package. They all get that CD.
So, okay, but then the other ones, for instance, the meditation one. Who did that?
I think Evan did that, and we also have it up on our website, so you can download it.
Okay, I'm going to do that. Now, see, I always learn something new when I speak with you. Amazing.
Well, I'm glad.
Yeah. This is great. And you use the word life force, which is spectacular, because especially now with, that word, the force is with you, and life force. It's just a great name, and I don't know, are there any books written? There must be books written about life force. That's so, it's a great name, though, isn't it?
It absolutely is, and it is what our force of life is that's coming out of us. How do we get over and work with everyday situations? What is our inner strength? And that's really what life force is how strong are you within?
And it's called energy. I always say that when people say, well, where'd you get all your energy? I said, I don't know. I've always had it. It's who I am. It's my inner sense. And now I'm going to say it's my life force.
There you go. You are very energetic. That's
right.
That's great.
Right. And I don't know if it's red. I always wear a lot of red things. I have a red leather jacket on right now.
Oh, wow.
And I have a red car. And I have a red purse someone just bought.
There you go.
I mean, this is insanity. I was just looking at myself.
You're all red.
I love red. Red is my favorite of everything. Wonder what that means. That's power, I think. Red is power and life force, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
What's your favorite color?
Mine is blue.
Ah.
But
That's more calm. That's more calm.
I guess so. And I don't know what that means because my car, for the last few years, I've had black cars, so I don't know what that means.
A lot of people have black cars. I don't like black or white cars. Isn't that interesting?
That is.
I know. And I don't even have to look at my car as I'm driving, of course. But I don't want it. That is really funny. Okay, so we'll forget that. But, so you have pets, don't you?
Yes, I have 2 cats, and then I have a cat in the office.
Okay. Now, pets also have energy and life force, and we know that. Mm-hmm. Because when I got on AIM, I also got my dog on AIM, and of course, eventually my dog passed away, and now I have my dog on AIM. But I just see an energy in my pets and my dog. I mean, this dog talks to me, and he has great energy, and he's like 11 years old. He walks slowly, but you could just feel the energy in the room when he's there. He's very alert, though. If I get up from a chair, he's right there, wanting to know, where am I going?
Aww.
So, I think, well, this sounds crazy, but I buy plants. I live in an apartment, so I don't really, and my balcony's too windy. I can't put things out there, but I have a nice southern windowsill. Mm-hmm. And I have some lovely herbs, and I keep them watered, and they just grow. and I eat the the leaves because they're sage or whatever they are, and they so there's a certain, I think I have a lot of life force in my whole apartment. Is that possible?
Yes, definitely. And I think because of being on AIM, that you kind of give it off. So people that are around you kind of feel your energy. And that's why they're saying, well, you have energy of your own, too. But when you're on AIM, it enhances that energy. So that's what a lot of people see from you. Since I've been working with this, and I've seen some of my extended family, cousins, and et cetera, and I look at them, and some of them are my age, some are a little younger, some are a lot older. But I look at them, and then I look at my family, because pretty much all of them are on AIM, my brothers and sisters, et cetera. We look a lot younger, and we have a lot more energy, and we just look different. We have a little bit of I look at my brothers, and I go, gosh, they got kind of a glow about them. They kind of, and my mom is going to be 90 this year.
Wow.
And my mom is doing amazing. I mean, she's running around, and she doesn't take any medications of any kind. She takes some vitamins, and that's about it. And, she swims every day, and it's, so I know, and I look at her compared to her sister, who is on a lot of medications and isn't on AIM and doesn't want anything to do with it. She doesn't understand it,
Oh, really?
But, yeah. And it's just in people's time, when they're, I don't push people because it's a personal thing, and if you're not feeling it, then I don't want you to be pushed into it, of course.
Sure.
But I look at my mom and I think, gosh, she just looks amazing for her age. You would never know she's going to be 90. And she reads Boomer Times every month.
That's good. Oh, the January's going to be so good. I have what you've written, but we've just run out of space. Every once in a while we get just too many ads, which I love. But
that's great.
Yeah, right. But this, I so much wish, and I know you can't, but if you want to get away from that cold weather, what's your weather there now?
Today it was 47 when I was coming to work.
So if you want to come away from that weather, I can't promise we're not going to be in the 40s here either, but it'll certainly be warmer than where you are. You can come to our Boomer Expo, which is January the 16th, and it's on a Tuesday, and it could be your little holiday. I know you've just come back for a few days or whatever you took, but that would be a wonderful thing for you to think about doing. I'm just posing that to you. I'm just proposing that to you.
Okay.
It would
January
be really
16th.
It's a Tuesday, and it's all day, and it is absolutely a marvelous time. And if you fly in, I don't know if you just want to stay one day. That's probably an expensive fly-in from where you are. But you could even stay at my apartment. I have an extra bedroom.
Oh, that's so sweet of you.
Yeah, see that? And then you can meet Charlie, and you can see the energy between your energy and my energy. That apartment's going to rock.
Everybody in your building's going to be wondering what's going on.
Earthquake time, right? In South Florida. But, I'm glad I brought up the word earthquake because I wanted to talk to you about that. Of course, Nicholas, you don't know him, but you knew all about Nicholas Tesla. And, of course, he discovered the energy and how you could really make it so intense. And people were so afraid of that. Do you remember that whole story?
Yes, I do. I even looked at his cars over the weekend.
Oh, absolutely. The Tesla cars, I know. But before
Not
that.
Not actually his, but it was before that.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know the whole story of how he was able to do that. I'm sure Stephen knew that very well. But it is really an amazing thing that someone that powerful now still isn't the hero. He is to many people. But I think it was Edison that scooped him or something that took away all the things that he invented. There's a whole story to do with that.
Yeah, I remember something about that, true. Yeah.
So, so a lot of people have discovered this energy frequency. That's really what you deal in, is frequencies. And when you think also more about it, the whole space travel is all to do with energy and frequency, and people who are not involved in that kind of scientific experimentation could not fathom what it takes to take a spacecraft take it up and away and go for months or years. I mean, people just have no idea about it.
No, and it's coming around more and more. There is an energy person that's doing they have kind of like a TV show, and I think it's on Lifetime or one of those stations, and he's a young guy, and he can heal people with his hands and moving his energy. And it's starting to come around, and he's working with a lot of doctors, or trying to anyway, to get them to see that there is something else available to people, that maybe the drugs aren't helping. And he's an amazing guy, and that's his whole thing, is to bring this energy thing more to the forefront, so more people will not be afraid of it, and to look at it as another tool in their healing realm. And doctors especially, too, because there's a lot of things that we have trouble taking care of, like lupus and all these other things. And some of these people, I don't know if you've ever seen the show. I'm trying to remember what the name of the show is, because it was just on a couple of times, and I think they're trying to bring it back. But he did some amazing things with little kids, and some celebrities were on, and he was working with a doctor, and she had a couple of patients that had things that couldn't be healed by her. I mean, they were still having trouble, and she was trying everything. So she was skeptical, but she thought she would give this a try, and I guess she's been speaking with him, of course, behind the scenes. And she was very open to it, and so was the patient. It was really interesting. So it's coming more to the forefront, I think, but it's still, like you say, Tesla had all this information. I think of Stephen, he brought all this information forward and worked so hard on it. And so I'm trying to carry on that, and hopefully it'll be recognized, and his work will be recognized.
Yes, that's true. And I know that Stephen, this was, of course, as a chiropractor, which he first started out with being, he was a practitioner, a medical practitioner anyway, but he just reached much farther than so many of them do. He had this spark, and he wanted to see what else he could do. And he's done major things when you think about it, with people who have, autism and other kinds of diseases, and just people who've had cancer. And so he's really quite a hero to a lot of people. We're talking now about Stephen, not Tesla. But Stephen certainly was see, how old was he when he passed away? He was in his 70s, wasn't he?
Yeah, 76.
Mm-hmm. But he certainly made his life worthwhile, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He's helped a lot of people, and we continue with the work that we're doing and the training that I got from him to be able to carry on and find new frequencies to help all of us that are on the program. So it's just a continual, thing. But I really, that's my goal, is to get this into the forefront, and so that Stephen is recognized for the work and the help that he's given so many people.
Right, and that's why we do this with AIM, the AIM program, and we ask, really for people to look up the website. It's aimprogram.com. Look it up and see what you can see about it, because you'll learn a lot. And, of course, my guest is Roberta Hladek, and she is, what is your title, co-founder?
I'm a co-founder, yes.
Co-founder of this. It's funny, the years go on. You put in so much time, and someone will say, well, how long have you been doing this? Oh, I don't know, 25 years? It's like, ho-hum, right? Ho-hum, 25 years. How long have you been doing this?
Since 1987.
1987, huh? So that's a long time.
Yeah,
do you know what life was like before
31 years.
Right. Do you know what life was like before this?
Yeah, it wasn't as great. A lot of things have changed in that period of time, absolutely, and I have changed dramatically, so it's really helped me a lot.
Yeah. That always happens, when you help other people, you wind up helping yourself. Tell us, for people who are listening, and you do have children who are autistic or grandchildren, What can they do to help them? Let's go through that and tell us some of the results.
Well, it's really an easy process. You just need to contact us or go to the website and ask for an information packet, and we can send that out to you. If you don't have a a facilitator or someone that you know that's on the program, however you get to us. But we can send out an information packet to you, and then you just complete that and send it in. The children and the adults that have autism have done fabulous on the program, and we've got so many stories of little ones and then adults that have just really enhanced their lives. They've been able to increase their abilities and learn more, and a lot of them have been able to go into the social world, and a lot of the kids have gone into, instead of being in the special education classes, have been able to go into the regular curriculum with the other kids. So it's really helped them a lot. And any help we can give these people is going to help. Any little bit, if they can just get a little bit, but they've just gone by leaps and bounds, some of these kids. We've got one little boy that is having trouble speaking, but he's kind of getting there, and he's being able to say a few words, which is huge for these little kids. And he's been able to understand and sit still a little bit longer, because a lot of times they have a lot of energy, so they're not able to just sit in a classroom or whatever, so they're being taught in other ways. And it's amazing. The parents, bless their hearts, it's a tough road. It's hard to see your child struggle. And they've just, they're really amazing, the parents, too. Some of them, a lot of them are on AIM themselves. And then
really? That's right. That's a good thing. So, but there's some other diseases that you have been working with. I know that you doing something with, let's see, it was.
Well, we work with a lot of different things, but I've been actually recently been working with with some other things on diabetes. I have a participant that has a whole family that's diabetic, and so he's a scientist type person. He's got a lot of education in this, and he's been, really kind of challenging me in a little bit. So we've been kind of working with some new frequencies and things to try and see if we can help with diabetes. That's one of the other ones. We also have children. We have a Down's syndrome program.
Right.
And that, like the autism program, those are both free. And the only thing that we require while the participant is on the program is a quarterly report. And that's for my benefit, basically, so I can check and see if they're having a specific challenge. Then I can look and see if there's maybe something not in the database, and then we can add it. One time we had a child that was on the program, and we were rechecking that person because the parent had sent in a report saying they were still having a struggle in one particular area. So we were checking, and we found a frequency not in the database. And a few months later, we were getting emails talking about blood pressure, people's blood pressure going down, and they were able to decrease their medicine because something had cleared in them. They weren't sure what it was, but their blood pressure had gone down, and it was that one frequency. So it can help all aspects, not just the participant with autism and just with what they're dealing with, but it helps us all. And depending on where that frequency is in us, it's going to help us for whatever we've got going on. It might be me with I have back pain sometimes, so it could be me with my back. It might be somebody else with urinary tract things. It could be somebody with blood pressure. It could be anything.
So so if I told you that I'm very careful to try to get my blood pressure lower, I'm on AIM, what would I do?
Well, a lot of times if there's still something that is a challenge for you, then you can contact your facilitator and talk to them about it. And if they feel what we call a special recheck is warranted, and you've been on long enough, which you have, You have to be on at least a year, and the reason that we ask that is because there's so much that you're clearing during that year, and your body's going through so much that you want to let it all settle in and let your body catch up, because we do have to regenerate. So you could have your facilitator send in a special recheck request for you, and then we can check and see what's going on and see if there's something that you're clearing or something not in the database or, things like that.
And how do you do that?
What I do is use your photograph, and it goes on a little plate, and we have a video on our website that shows actually Stephen testing. But we put it on this plate, and then I check and see through the database of the computer asking certain questions, and I have a protocol that I use, and I check and see what's stopping the blood pressure, what's going on with it. Why is it continuing to be high? Is there something you're clearing? Is it something that's not in the database? What is it? And it's kind of a trial and error. It takes a while, but a lot of times we can find things that aren't in the database and then let you know and get them on AIM. Sometimes it's that particular frequency. Sometimes it just keeps chipping away, and it'll take time for us to get there. But I believe it, that the longer we work together on it, we can get there.
Well, that is really amazing. I don't think we've ever shared that together. Mm-hmm. So that takes and what do you do with your computer when you're trying to do that?
Well, what I'm doing is I'm holding an electrode in my hand because we have to have a person. We have to have that energy. And then I'm using what we call the lymphatic meridian, which is on your thumb. And I use a probe that tests that particular point, and it sends the information to the computer to read it, and then brings it back to me and tells me if there's a positive or a negative, what's going on. And I kind of do a binary search, so I go page by page, to see what's going on, and see if I can get a positive, what we call a positive hit. And if the system tells me that there's something there, then I have to look and see. If it tells me that there's a frequency not in the database, then I've got to go from there.
You know what? We just ran out of time. I have to say goodbye. They're killing me. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.